Hello, we are live. How are you guys? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the fourth episode of Let's Talk Biz. So today I'm obviously excited. Today I get to be joined by my special guest. Her name is Miss Emily Prada. She is absolutely amazing. She does tons of things and she's so talented, so I'm super excited to have her on, and we're going to talk a lot about her background, the different things she's involved in. So I'm going to go ahead and pull her on. Oh yeah, I see she's on. Let me go ahead and pull her on now and we will get started. There we go. Let's see. Oh, it's connecting.
Hello.
There we go.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, girl?
I'm doing good. So excited to be on here. Thank you for asking me.
Well, thank you for coming on. Honestly, just to overall acknowledge, obviously right now is a really tough time for everybody, especially the Black community. So first I want to say thank you for coming on in such a tough, rough time to talk about positive things. There's so much bad, negative things going on. And then also to say thank you for using your platform to showcase the stories of Black people in the community who have gone through it. And just sharing that. So I wanted to say thank you for that. But anyways, so to get about some happy stuff, how are you doing? How's everything going? How are you managing in this now post kind of COVID situation? So
doing good, I actually just made a video that I was going to post on my photo page about just how this time off for me has been very reflective. I've been able to reflect a lot on my life and just be grateful for the time off, just because I was running 100 miles an hour, and for me to stop and actually know what it's like to be at peace, and truly be at peace.
It's so weird, right?
It's so I'm wow, the crazy thing is that this peace is available to us all the time.
Exactly.
So it's just reminding myself, now as things are slowly gaining momentum again, just reminding myself that peace is always available.
Yeah, girl.
It's always there.
Yeah, girl, that's so good. Look at us starting off with some good stuff right away. No, but it's so true, and I'm right there with you. Before COVID happened, I was always on the go. I didn't have any time to breathe. I had no time for my family. I had no time for my husband. I had no time for my friends. Not even for church. I had no time for anything. And then when it forced me to stop, it was such it was so needed. It was just so needed. And even though it was so sad how it had to, it's sad that had to happen for us to be we need to stop. We need to stop and take a step back and be okay, we need to reflect on our lives and what's important and what matters. But you know what? At least we're here and we're progressing and we're moving. So that's what matters.
Exactly.
So now to get a little bit into about you. So Miss Emily Prada. So exactly, tell us about your background, where you're from, a little bit about what Emily likes, what does she do?
So what's funny is that through this whole COVID break, I've had to kind of stop myself and actually even discover that again. Because I was working so much to the point where it was I was identified so much into my work. And I only knew who I was with a camera in my hand, or I only felt worthy or good enough with a camera, which is crazy. But a little bit of backstory, I was born and raised here in Florida. Been a Florida girl, lived in Florida my whole life. Trying to think what else is important for backstory. I started photography super duper young. When I was 14, I bought my first camera, and I just knew I loved photos. Everybody would always tell me you should do this for real. But I don't know. I didn't think I was good enough to do my own thing like that. So I always took pictures for forever. And then it wasn't until maybe 5 years ago that I finally decided, you know what, I'm going to do something for myself. That I started my own photography business, which was amazing. And here I am now, 5 years later. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God. So was it just as far as for getting your passion into, was there any sort of specific passion behind it? What kind of sparked your interest? Was it just you wanted to try a new hobby, or how did that dwell in you to be okay, I want to do this for real, as a job?
I will say the more I've been able to do what I do, I've been able to bring into words why I do what I do, and just like feel even more passionate about it, just because I feel like memories are they're so important.
Yeah.
And what I see, for me, like the more present I've been able to be to my own self and surroundings, the better pictures I've been able to take. You know, just being
That's awesome.
in a healthy place, I've been able to actually like bring about what I see and what I feel into photos. And that's my ultimate goal, you know, for people to relive what they're actually seeing.
Yeah, especially like what kind of like brought you to wedding photography though? Because I know that you've taken like photos, like maternity photos, all of that stuff, but like your big main thing is like wedding photography. So like what exactly was like, I love this, and like the elopements, the engagements, like what was it about it that attracted you to like make that your main gig?
By the way, does anybody else hear like an echo? Or is it just me?
I hear you. I don't think I hear too much of an echo. Does anybody hear an echo? No. I don't think so. I hear like a slight, but it's nothing like crazy.
Okay. Yeah, because I hear it a lot on my end. Wait, sorry, what was our question again? Oh, weddings. Why I do weddings.
Yeah,
you do
like,
hear, somebody said they do hear echo.
Wedding, elopements, like engagements, like all of that. Like why not something? Okay, yeah, they hear like a little bit of an echo, but Danny said it's not. It's not. Danny said it's not that bad. That's right. Supportive husband right there.
I don't know what that even is. Okay, I think it went away.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't hear it anymore.
I don't. Okay. He said keep it going. Okay, let's keep it going. So anyway,
okay, sorry.
So your passion, wedding photography. How is it that you got into that specifically instead of maybe like maternity or like family or like, you know?
So just because I think love is such a great gift, it's like one of the greatest gifts, you know, finding your person. And then also the better of a relationship I've been able to have with Danny, my husband, the better I have been able to photograph and see other couples like for their truth, for like who they really are as, you know, beautiful people just coming together. And it's really just such a beautiful day to come together. Everyone's excited, happy, loving. It's just such a amazing like atmosphere. And then also too, besides that, I am able to bring in my positivity because it is a very stressful day for a lot of like brides and the family members. So like you have no idea how many times I grab like my bride's hands or like I've grabbed the mom's hands and I'm like, okay, you're gonna breathe, you're gonna close your eyes and breathe.
It's like you're giving birth.
Like breathe. People freak out, but people get like so stressed out. But that's actually really big reason why I love like more intimate weddings, just because all that stress isn't in there and you're able to focus on what's real, you know, which is marrying your best friend, and that's all that matters. Yeah, and you know what? I think it's funny how you say it's just like everything flows from like the own root of your life into your work, and how when you start to really focus and prioritize, I think a lot of people in any field of work or entrepreneurship, I think that's like so important to really think about, because I mean, even me, I'm thinking about it now and I'm like, it's so true. Like where you are personally, spiritually, emotionally, anything, if you're not like in tune with who you are and what you want to do, or like your inner happiness, your soul, your work is not going to reflect that. And you see it like so clearly, because if you look at your work is like so beautiful. Like seriously, guys, you have to, we're gonna like pin it and check it so you guys can see. It's amazing. But that's beautiful to know, and I thank you for like being honest about that, because I feel like a lot of people would just be like, oh, you know, it's just, you know, I take really good photos. No, you've been really genuine with that. That's awesome. No, like I said, it has to do coming back to myself. The more I come back to myself, the more I can serve and help others, and like help others see their light and just bring that into my work. And be happy with my work too, you know, because a lot of it too is so many people are just like going about doing their jobs. Yeah. And they're just like going. They're not even like loving what they do, which is so important to love what you do. Yeah.
Especially if you're going to like take an adventure and be an entrepreneur, because it is the hardest mission that you will probably ever do, is to be an entrepreneur, because you really have to have a passion and love and go back to yourself and inner purpose, because girl, come on, be honest. Like this life is not for the weak, bro. It is not.
No, it definitely comes with a whole lot of stuff that you would never think of.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you think helps you, just because of course, obviously, just like there's like a million hairdressers, there's like tons of photographers, like what do you do specifically to like help like brand yourself to really push yourself to the forefront and like, you know, change your is it your experience that the, you know, the brides go through? Like, what is it exactly that you do that you feel that has helped you to be so successful, you know, with your photography business?
I think being authentic, you know, just staying true to who I am. Like, I found myself so many times, like when I started trying to like mimic other people, like maybe if I do what they do, maybe I'll get the same type of people. Maybe I'll like be able to, I don't know, just like make it because they've made it and they have this certain style, certain look, they do this certain thing. So it wasn't until I was able to be authentic and be myself and find my own voice within my work. That I feel like I was able to succeed and just kind of be where I'm at. And also to know that entrepreneurship comes with a lot of fear, and a lot of times it's like facing that fear and just looking beyond it and knowing that the more you face your fears, the stronger it's like a muscle, the stronger it's gonna get. And you're gonna, the more you face your fear, you're gonna know that like you can make it out, you know, like it's gonna propel you to like something greater and better rather than holding you back. Because we think a lot of times when we face our fears that like, oh my God, like this is bad, like I'm gonna take a step backwards, but really like you're taking a step forward.
And it's like your mind limits you so much. Like literally the power of the mind is just so crazy when you actually like tap into what any of that means, whether if it's like making sure you're doing self-talk or having positive people around you or people who are on the same mission as you, people who have the same thought process. I mean, me being an entrepreneur, I didn't realize the importance of that until like once I was going through it. You start to like really doubt yourself because going and walking in those fears is, like you said, it's so scary. And it's so important to have like a support system, some people who are around you, which I'm sure you have. Like Danny is like the ultimate like mind.
Oh yeah.
Anybody who knows Danny's, like you guys have such a beautiful message with Heartway, which we're gonna go into. Just about like really like again being back in tune with yourself, the power of the mind, how what you speak over your life is what you walk in. And so I think that that's beautiful to see that, you know, as entrepreneurs, even though it's scary, we get to experience that, and then we get to share that through our gifts, which are all different. Which we
also being like becoming a pastor's wife, which I hate calling myself a pastor's wife. It has taught me to live outside of the box that everyone is always putting me in, you know. So that has trickled into me being a photographer. It's like I don't always have to fit the perfect photographer box and do what everyone else is doing. I always have to do what's true to me and what I love and what brings me joy, because ultimately that's gonna show into everything I do.
Exactly. So how is it, I know like with Heartway, so how is it that you kind of found your place within Heartway? Because like you said, being a pastor's wife, there is definitely like a box that people put you in, and you have these expectations and you have, you know, all of this responsibility. So like how did you kind of maneuver yourself and find your comfort, or like, you know, your spot where you're like, you know what, I'm standing in this, I feel this is the right thing to do, and I feel like I can help others with it, you know?
So when we originally started Heartway, which is our spiritual community, which I don't even like to label it church so much, because I think church has so much baggage, and I feel like we're just like a spiritual community of people who just embrace and love everyone from every walk of life. So when we started, before we actually started, I already had all of these experiences of being a pastor's wife, where I was put into a box and labeled and like told like, you have to dress like this, you don't look like a pastor's wife, like you have red hair. What? Because I had red hair at the time, I had purple hair, I had my silver hair, like I dress how I dress, I like fashion, you know. I you know, so I was always being told like to not be what I am. So when we started Heartway, I had this guard up already. I was already guarded. I was like, here we go, another church. We're starting our own thing. Yes, it's our own thing, but it's still a church. So I remember, of course, I supported it 1,000%. But I remember telling Danny, I was like, look, like, I'm not ready to like I will do everything that I can do, but I'm going to be in the back. Like, I don't care for anyone to know who I am. I don't need for anyone to know who I am at all. Like, I'm going to help you with everything creative that I can help with. And that's it. So it's crazy because like even now so many people have come to me and they're like after hearing my story and stuff like that, telling me like, because they would get upset that I wouldn't say hi to them, but I a lot of that came from just me lacking love from within, you know. So back then I was so insecure because I already was guarded And I already was like, I basically, everyone that judged me, I was doing the same thing that they were doing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like the defense mechanism for you. It's like, let me like put up the front before they try.
Exactly. Before they try and judge me. Yeah. So I was expecting the same thing. And, you know, as Heartway went on, I came to see that like, I just like saw the way Danny led the community, and like, I don't know, we just like, we're so big about love and like judge free, like everyone's accepted, everyone's loved. So like little by little, I was able to work on myself. Yeah. And kind of I've been able to find my voice, you know, throughout the years by just like seeking within. And I think that is the greatest way that anyone can make a difference, with seeking within, changing themselves. It all starts with the inside. That's really how you can love and really be like the greatest gift to this world.
No, for sure. And I definitely have seen that. Just for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, we're speaking about Heartway Church. So Emily and her husband, Danny, lead the church. And it's just a beautiful community of people. I was raised in church. And so for me, church experience is not always the best experience that I had gone through. There was a lot of criticism, a lot of judgment. And you know, that's not what it is, because that's not who Jesus is. You know, he's not about that at all. He's all about love and forgiveness, inclusivity, like caring, accepting, like the worst of the worst, the least of the least. And that was something that I found at Heartway Church, like, because, and that was like, oh my God, it was such a breath of fresh air. I was like, am I allowed to like this? Am I allowed to be okay with the things that Pastor Danny is saying right now?
That's hilarious. That's like, hilarious.
It was a lot of inner reflection, but I think for so long I was even critical, because I was like, how, like, I've never been so I guess you could say open or been spoken about with the reflection of, if like you're not okay and there's not a lot of work within you, then things outside and you're going to spew like that hate, right? And it's like, you hear that all the time, but when you really think about it, and when you talk about like Jesus living on the inside of you, like he is within you, like that shows a major reflection, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's all about what I do, and then it's like they wind up screwing themselves. And it reflects, like you said, it reflects in your personal life, your marriage, your friends, your family, your work, everything you do. So I think like kind of switching the gear, I'm so thankful that you guys were so bold in like what you guys have done at Heartway and like what you guys have shared, because it's like changed my life, like for sure. And I know it's changed like the lives of so many other people. So again, thank you for being super authentic and super open about your journey, which we could literally talk hours about that, but we don't have that much time.
Thank you. We love you. I'm so grateful you're a part of our community.
Yeah, like seriously. But well, I'll talk Heartway as well, guys. So if you guys are interested, definitely check them out. But I do want to talk about this as well. So oftentimes I know that, so Emily has like a super large social media following. If you guys haven't seen her things, she has a super large influence. And so I know that pictures and social media can often kind of like misconstrue what the real life and reality is behind what you do. So it's like kind of talking a little bit about that. What do you think are some of like the misconceptions that you've seen? Because like you're able to work, you travel, you know, you also have multiple businesses, you know what I mean? You have time for yourself. Now you have a dog, you know, all of these different things. How have you been able to kind of like balance that, you know, the reality behind, you know, just the nice traveling and, you know what I mean, like the nice of the highlights of our life? How have you been able to really kind of like balance that reality of what is behind the real scenes?
So explain that a little better. Like,
so for example, you can go on your social media profile and you see, oh my God, this girl is super successful with her church, she's super successful with her business, she's traveling, all of that, but people don't honestly know like the reality of what it takes to get that. You know what I mean? Like people don't know the hard work, people don't know what exactly is happening. So what is like your reality behind just like the highlights of your life, I guess you could say?
A lot. So yeah. So I feel like I'm pretty open about that. I struggle a lot, like with I have a lot of anxiety all the time, like a lot. Obviously, the more I have been able to become my healthier self, you know, all of these things have changed, you know, but it doesn't mean I still deal with my pain. Like a little, like not too long ago, literally a few months ago, right before quarantine, actually. I have suffered with depression, like a lot throughout, like many years of my life. I used to, if people know my story, you know, like I used to cut myself. So like I have like struggled with like not feeling worthiness, not feeling enough. So for me with social media, I had to come to a point where I'm like, you have to do social media because you love it. You know, you have to take pictures because you love to take pictures, not because of people's like attention, not because of like how many people are going to like your picture, not because of how many people are going to comment on your picture or share your pictures. You have to do things because you love to do them and because it's coming from a good intention and a good place, you know?
Yeah.
So behind all of the social media is obviously a lot of emotions, but you can never identify yourself with any of those emotions, you know? Like for me, I had to release like wanting to grow on social media or like wanting people to like me for me to enjoy it. If that makes sense. Because there's been so many times where I'm like, I'm just gonna delete this crap. Like this is so dumb. Like I'm over it. I'm doing so much work and like I'm not growing or I'm not, you know, but like but actually like on another note, I have gotten a lot of people who have said things like, man, you live such a good life, like you know, like you travel all these like you do all these trips and whatever, but like half of my trips are for work and then half of them are they're vacation, but those are actually my only days off throughout the whole year. So like that's something that a lot of
like people are like, oh, hello, people need to have a break too. You're working 24/7.
So like I said, a lot of that is just for me releasing the fact that like just not caring about what other people have to say or think. If I know my heart and my intention behind everything that I do, and if I know that's love coming from a place of love, then who cares?
Exactly.
All's well, you know. Don't get me wrong. I have my moments. I'm not perfect.
It's true. It's true.
But, you know, it's just about releasing the care about what other people have to say, because those people that are judging you have to know that they're judging themselves. That's where it stems from, really. It stems from whatever you do to others. Yes, exactly. So
I like that. Good. No, that's good. And that's good to know, like just coming from like an honest perspective, because that may be something that people are like, how, what, when, you know what I mean? And just to like, just be honest. And I think that that's like something that you've continuously put on the forefront is just like, let it go, bro. Just like, let it go and be you and have like the best lives that you have to live. Because at the end of the day, like, it's just you. Like there's people who are following you or you know, it doesn't matter. You have to do what you love or else it'll just, again, drop like a fly. So I love that. So as far as like with now, I mean, you've kind of been able to have a break now, but I remember before, like you literally had like a gig like every weekend. You were constantly going, constantly moving. How are you able to balance like running a church and then also like your super busy photography business on top of like you're married and top of like, you know, all of these things? What is like some of your methods that you use to kind of balance that all?
Well, my planner. You know, I literally would plan everything. But like I said, after quarantine, I'm like, man, why am I even working so much? You know, so like now I'm at a point where I want to balance that even more so that I have more time for myself. So I think personally I was doing way too much because I was having so many like anxiety attacks and like so stressed out. Like literally I'm so in tune with my body that my body gets like swollen and bloated and like I feel myself fuller when I'm stressed. And I feel the stress like in the anxiety like in my head and the like it's just like I can't sleep, like so many things that like people don't see. Like people have no idea how many times I've been crying on my computer editing where I'm like, why am I working so much? Like, you know, like it shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't. It should not.
So that's why like now after, like I said, after I've like experienced this peace, I'm like, man, I am for sure like gonna make more time for myself, because I've been able to meditate every morning during this like break. I've been able to journal again, which I used to love writing. When I was a teenager, I used to write so much. So that was one of the things that, you know, I lost throughout being so busy, you know, doing all the things that I love to do, creating my own content, which I create content for everybody else but myself.
Except for yourself.
So that's why I'm like, dang, you know what? Like, I actually really enjoy this. Like, as much as I love being behind the camera, I love being in front of the camera too. You know, it's like, it's fun for me. So And then with the church, and then with Danny, you know, that was hard too. I feel like I wasn't able to give him as much time as I should have.
Yeah.
You know, and then Heartway too, it was like I'm always like trying to like, I'm being pulled in all these directions, and it's like, okay, let me help. And then I also struggle a lot with saying no. So like when people ask me for things, I'm like, oh my God, I'm a horrible person if I say no. Like I can't say no. I feel so bad. So it's just, I'm learning to create boundaries for myself and only do the things that bring me joy.
Yeah.
And that the things that I'm passionate about. If I'm not passionate, or like if it's not gonna bring me joy, then I'm not gonna do it.
Bye.
You know? Yeah. No, because at the end of the day, I would rather say no to somebody than go and do the job and be miserable. You know? Or then later on, who's not to say I create this story in my head that like, oh, now I have all this anxiety because of that person.
Exactly. You start to like post blame when it's like you started it in the first place.
Yes, exactly. It's like, hello, when I look at myself in the mirror, it's like, hello, you're the one that said yes to this. You did this to yourself.
I know. And it's so bad. It's so bad because you know what? I think I find myself doing that the most with like my husband. Like literally, like I'll be like, I'm doing so many things, but he asks me something, I'm like, you know what? Of course. But then I'm doing it and I'm like, you know what? It's your fault. You're the one who made me do this and blah, 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 blah. And you start to like create this like bitterness inside of you.
Yes.
And it's so unhealthy. It's so unhealthy. And so I think that's so good. I think it's so good that like, again, you just like come back to it. It's like, I got to do what's best for me at the end of the day, because if I'm good, it all just flows. It's like
it all stems from within, from you.
Yes, girl.
That's why I speak so much on taking care of yourself. You know, people think that it's like selfish, but no, you are actually being selfless by taking care of yourself, because when you're taken care of, and you're gonna always do things from a place of love and from like a healthy place, rather than, like we said, doing things from because I have to do it. Let me put myself last and let me do this because I have to.
Yes, exactly. It's like the worst. I feel like the worst habit is like the people pleasing, like habit where you're like, oh, I just gotta people please everybody, and it's like it just leads to a life of misery. People just don't do it. Like if you're gonna do it, you need to do it because it's like I want to do it. I'm gonna be helping by doing this. Don't ever do it just to please somebody, because that's where, oh my God, that just, I can't even, again, talk about that for like 10 hours, but like whatever.
For sure.
For sure. On and on about it, but no, but that's good. That's good that again we have this like acknowledgement of that. And I think it's super interesting what you said when you talk about a lot about self-care and thinking about yourself and this healthy mindset. A lot of people do take it as selfish. And I even thought for a minute, I was like, maybe it is selfish to be talking and thinking so much about myself. But then it's like, once I had kids, I realized how selfless I have to be, and how when I wasn't taking care of myself, girl, I'm a hot mess. My kids look like they're wearing like 2 different types of clothing. I'm giving that craziness.
Not even that. I was literally having a convo yesterday with a mom, because she works out a lot. She loves to work out. That is her way of like just fulfilling her soul. So she takes her baby to the gym with her, and sometimes he cries in his baby chair. But I actually went up to her yesterday and I was like, I admire you so much for still working out, because when he grows up, he's gonna look at you and be like, my mom still gave time to herself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna look up and be like, when he's gonna grow up, he's gonna be like, I have to give time to myself and do things that fulfill me, no matter what else.
And he's gonna be so much of a healthier person because of that influence on his life. Like
besides that, besides that, because she's taking care of herself, she can take care of him way better.
Yes, girl.
Instead of
because when mama is down, the whole house is down.
Yes.
Anybody, and the thing is, even like whenever it's just period, when anybody is down, they just cannot function. They cannot work to the best of their ability. I think that's why a lot of people are kind of even like excited that I know about like the chance to keep on working from home, because so many people have like gotten the opportunity to like really like wake up, go for a run, come back to the house, work, eat breakfast, things that they would normally not get to do on the day-to-day. So like I'm really excited about like the new normal that like us as like entrepreneurs, us as like families, business friends are gonna walk into, like I'm not even nervous or scared about it, because I just feel like it's so necessary to allow ourselves to feel the freedom to take care of ourselves more. So I love that. So one last question I do want to ask you is, what is your like key advice, which I think we pretty much talked about, but what is your key advice that you would give to an upcoming like female entrepreneur? Oh, sorry. I think pause for a second. Someone that wants to pursue photography, you know, someone who wants to go down this field, what would you say is like your number one advice to them?
I would say, okay, maybe 3 things that I'll say.
Go, really 3 quick. Things. Go 3 things.
Oh, like I said, always be yourself, be authentic, be true to who you are.
Yeah.
2, know that your journey isn't like anyone else's. You know, don't compare yourself to others. Comparing yourself is like the greatest like enemy. Like that is, that's gonna literally lead you down a big dark hole. And then 3, I would say, like, your goal should never be to be better than anyone else other than yourself. You should always just try to be like you're the best version of yourself. Yeah. Seek within, take care of yourself always. Never try to beat others, you know? It's not about being better or being greater than anyone else. It's about being better than yourself, your previous version of yourself.
That was so good. That is so good. 3 things, y'all. Write them down. Rewatch and write them down. No, but honestly, it was so good. And thank you so much, Emily, for joining me and coming on Let's Talk Biz. I'm so happy to have you on here.
Thank you.
I really admire everything that you do, and I really think that like your influence and your message to this community is so needed. So thank you so much. So guys, don't forget to make sure to follow her. I'm going to make sure to tag everything in the caption below. Support what she does, guys. It's absolutely beautiful and amazing. And don't forget next week to come on for the next special guest. But anyways, again, thank you so much, Emily. I'm really, really appreciative, and we will see you guys next time. Alrighty. Bye guys. See you later.